Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Midland, Texas. And I'm here for my second day of my online card class to go. And today is two really pretty fun folds that I think you're gonna really love and enjoy. I want to show you those. Before I get started, a few things I need to talk about. There is still room to come to my in-person Pick a Kit night on Friday, this Friday at 6:30 p.m. I provide a kit and lots of food and snacks and drinks for you for $28, and you get to pick any kit you want. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining me. And it will be a blast. So if you'd like to come, the link to the registration will be in the description after this video is over. All right. Next, I'm super excited to tell you that I'm partnering with these rock star women for a craft along event in March. Each of us have designed two projects, one card, one 3D project, and we each are doing a technique. Each of us are doing all the projects on our own Facebook page. It'll be on my page right here on March the 24th through the 28th. There'll be a link to this posting at 6 p.m. tonight. We're all launching it at exactly the same time. And it'll be super fun. So we are using, let me get rid of that. And I don't know, do you guys know who these ladies are? The one on the far left is Lisa Bauer. She's a gold demonstrator in Michigan. Erica Serwin is a rock star. She's from San Antonio, Texas. And then to the right of me is Ange McKay, and she is in Canada. And next to her is Rhonda Wade, and she's another United States rock star. All of these ladies are rock stars. I'm just so thrilled that they asked me to be a part of this event. Okay, so we will be using the Friends of the Ocean bundle as well as the Year of the Flowers bundle. We're going to be using the Ocean Friends DSP, the Timeless Plaid paper. You'll get half a pack of each of those. You'll get 2 rolls of ribbon, the peach ribbon and the white 1/4 inch ribbon, and everything to make all 10 projects with plenty to spare. Okay, so lots of cardstock. We're not going to be cutting and scoring your cardstock, but you're going to get full sheets of cardstock, plenty to make all of the projects. So I'm excited. That will post at 6 o'clock tonight. Look for that posting. If you're on my email list, you will also get an email at 6 o'clock tonight. If you're not on my email list, I'd love to get you on there. So just send me a message and say, I want to be on your email list. And I always post a link for that in my, yay, Linda, post a link to that in my description on YouTube and on Facebook. So look for that, join my email list, and then at 6 o'clock tonight is when I am launching this awesome spring break mega 10 project, five technique class during March 24th through the 28th. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that one. This is the suite that we are working with this week. It is called Lovely Garden. The stamp bundle is called Thankful Garden. It comes with some awesome masks and stamps and dies and embellishments. I've got them all right here next to me, so I'm just going to move this down to my hands and show you all this awesome stuff. So you get the masks, and if you guys watched my Facebook Live yesterday, you saw me play with these masks yesterday. Okay, let me adjust my camera just a little bit here. Okay, so these masks will mask up and layer on ink for these two big floral images. You get the dies to cut out the images that are in this, but also some extra fun leaves, some smaller leaves, just lots of fun dies there. So that is part of the bundle and the stamp set. So if you buy the bundle, you get all of this together at a 10% discount. You get the stamps, the dies, and the masks, okay? And then this is that lovely Garden Designer Series paper. And look at these big blooms and these bright colors. I'm especially in love with the green and yellow. It reminds me of my room when I was growing up. Some great prints. Look at that one. That's super fun, right? Die blooms that you can just use the paper like this, or you can fussy cut those out. I don't think the dies fit those. This one we used yesterday, and then just some really basic prints on the other side. Some black and white prints, some solid that coordinate with all the paper. So that is what you get in that bundle, as well as this Fresh Freesia ribbon, and it is velvet. And somebody asked yesterday, does it tie a bow very well? And I tied a bow with it, and look, it looks beautiful. It is a little thinner, right? And it's a little thicker because of the velvet, but not too thick that you can't get a pretty bow. Look how pretty that bow is, right? Can't get a pretty bow out of it. And then these are called the Starburst Sequins, and they come in Fresh Freesia, Daffodil Delight, and white. And this is part of that suite as well. Okay, so let's get started. We have 2 cards that we made yesterday. I want to show you these again. We made this card that says "With Love." On the inside, we just stamped some flowers in the bottom right. Super sweet. That was very simple. And then this one says, "For you, friend." This was a little more detailed because we had more die cuts and layers and all of that sort of thing. It is gorgeous, isn't it? And then on the inside, we just stamped a little in the corner and put a little strip of that DSP from the front on the inside. Okay, so those were the first 2 cards that you will get in the kit to go this week if you choose to place an order. All right, so let's get started on our fun folds. I'm going to do this fun fold first. So pretty. And it opens like this and then like this. Isn't that very pretty? It says, "You make a difference," and then inside it says, "Thanks," with plenty of room, like Imelda loves to write a long, lengthy note. So anyway, let's get started on this one. You're going to see it's super simple. Let me pull out all my pieces here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, let's go ahead and do the inside first since it's super easy. And I just realized that I forgot to pull one of my stamps I needed out of here. We need this tiny one right here that says "and thanks." There we go. All right. For the inside, we've got our basic white paper, 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to add this DSP, and I liked this bold floral print, although that one doesn't get a lot of the floral in it, but it just brings the inside to the outside to the inside, however you want to say that. Thanks, Chelsea. Hi. I've missed seeing you this week. I do too, Stephanie. Ooh. I don't know what just happened there. Look, my white glue came out like with a little, I don't know if I touched it with makeup on my fingers or what. It's not going to make a difference, but just shocked me for a second there. I'm like, what the heck? Why is this glue yellow instead of white? Okay, so right there at the bottom. And then this says "and thanks," but we just want to use the thanks part of it. So I'm going to pull out my Melon Mambo here. And you guys, I just discovered something. They just started this on the Stampin' Up website. If you look up the Lovely Garden Suite, there will be a drop-down menu that tells you, and now I only want to say thanks. I don't want the and. So I'm going to just make sure there's no ink on the and part. And then I'm just going to stamp this right here above that DSP. Okay? There's a drop down menu, and if you click on it, it drops down and it lists every single thing that is in that suite. And if you click on it, it'll take you to that individual item. So if you just wanted the lovely garden suite, but you really wanted like an extra pack of the DSP or something, all you would have to do is click on that drop down menu, click on that DSP, and it'll take you right to that page. And then on the DSP page, it'll tell you this paper is part of a suite. And you'll have an option to click back onto the suite. Isn't that cool? So they've kind of got that all coordinated now, which is really nice. Okay, so there is the inside of my card. This is Melon Mambo, by the way, and it is cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Oh, I just realized I did something. I knew I wasn't, why I didn't want to put that on yet. Okay, I'm going to pull this back off and maybe just get a whole nother sheet if I can do this gracefully. Okay, I forgot about my hinge. I got to put my hinge on there first. Okay, so I'm going to start over with this Melon Mambo. I'm going to get another piece of it here, and we're going to do it right for you. Let me grab my Melon Mambo from behind me. Okay, if you guys got to give me some grace today, because I just got back from dental surgery. I had to have a root canal, and it was awful. And I'm not saying that just to be dramatic. I mean, it really was awful. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. They needed an x-ray midway through the root canal, and they couldn't get the x-ray panel in my mouth correctly because evidently I have a weird bone in the top of my mouth that was prohibiting it, and they tried 20 times, and that poor dentist was very flustered, so flustered that she had to leave the room for a moment. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't get this x-ray. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So while she was out of the room, the dental assistant and myself managed to get it in correctly into my mouth, and we got a good picture. And she came back and she's like, oh, you guys did it. Good job. I was like, oh dear. And the poor dental assistant kept saying, I'm so sorry. We can't get this to work. I'm so sorry. Please be patient with us. And I was just like, I just want to get this over with today. So my mouth is still sore. They didn't put me asleep, but I kind of wish they had, because then I wouldn't have had all that drama in the back of my head, right? That poor dentist saying, I just can't get it to work. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to place this panel now over that hinge. So what I did, I'm just sitting here talking. I put the hinge part, and you'll get all the measurements in the PDF with this class to go. But this is 1 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then I scored it at 4 1/4. And so I used that hinge right there, just the part that's scored, and glued it to the inside of the card, flush with this edge right here. Okay, flush with the right edge. And then I glued, that's what I should have done to begin with, glued that white panel to the inside. There you go. So when I was in Lincoln, Chelsea, I had an awesome dentist, a dentist that I loved. And so all these things are hard when you move. It's finding a new dentist. Okay, so now I have this piece of bubble bath, and it's cut 1 inch by 4¼ inches. Oh, thanks, Lisa. We'll see. It might have just affected how I just forgot to put that hinge on the inside there. Okay, so this piece is going to go right on the front of this hinge right here. I've embossed that with that plaster embossing folder that's part of the mixed media suite. Okay, and I'm just going to glue this. Your guy may be my guy. I don't know. I went to Dr. Berger when I was in Lincoln. He's on Pine Lake Road at 56th and Pine Lake, I think, and their office was amazing. But no longer there. So, okay, so I'm going to put this right in the middle, right here, of that hinged panel. Okay, right like that. Then I have a piece of Pool Party, and we're going to do what we did yesterday. And what did we do yesterday? We're only going to do it once. We are going to rough up the edges with our scissors. Kathy Maddox said on my last video, I'm always afraid I'm going to tear it up and rip it. Well, it's just paper. If you know, everything takes practice. So, try it. It's just paper. If it doesn't work out well, then, you know, get another piece of paper. It's just paper. It's not like a, you know, car or something. Okay, I have a panel of this DSP that is cut 4 by 5¼ so pretty, and this is going to go on the front right here of this card base. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, and then this panel is going to get attached here, but kind of at an angle like that, and that's going to help the front flower kind of pop off that page a little bit when it gets attached to the front here. Okay, so let me attach this, and it's going to go a little slightly angled right like that. Awesome. And then this piece is going to go right on the front right here. And so when it does, you're going to see that Pool Party kind of peeking out from underneath it, right? Isn't that awesome? Okay, so this front panel is going to have our hydrangea on it. I'm going to ink it up with my Memento Black ink. And thank you. I had a couple of people. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you're here. I was just telling them my nightmare story of going to the dentist. And there's a reason I don't like going to the dentist. It's for that reason right there, right? It's always something with me. Okay, there we go. I've never had a dentist complain about the bone at the top of my mouth before and it preventing x-rays, but maybe in my old age, right, things are sagging, so maybe that is what happened. I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my place where I made this rectangle that's 4 by 5½ on my grid paper like I did yesterday, and I have a little piece of seal right here, and it is going to kind of hold this panel down, and this is cut from the second largest postage stamp, perennial postage die, it just makes fun die cuts. I don't know if it'll be around forever, but you know, it was in last year's annual catalog, so it would not surprise me if they took that away this year. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my mask, and I'm going to start with number 1 right here. I'm going to do just what I did yesterday. I'm going to get it all lined up the way I want it. Let's see. Keep twirling, twirling, twirling until it all fits. There we go. Fits right like that. Okay, and so my notch is right here. I'm going to grab my pencil and put a little arrow right there where that notch is. I'm going to grab my Post-it note tape to hold this down. So the paper won't move because I put a little bit of seal right underneath it. And then I'm going to hold this postage note down right like that. Okay, now I'm grabbing my blueberry bushel ink pad, and maybe I'll zoom in here just a little bit. You know, maybe I'm just also a big baby. I don't know. But that whole x-ray experience was pretty, and the fact that the sweet dental assistant kept apologizing made me think that it was not an ordinary experience. Oh my goodness. And so at the end, when I asked the dentist was telling me, well, you're going to be sorry. And she goes, you know, we clamped you up a lot to get that. We worked really hard. We stuck a lot of things in your mouth. You're probably going to be sore. So there we go. So I'm going to do a light layer there of that blueberry bushel. That's beautiful on its own though. But wait, it just gets better. Number 2 right here. I'm going to line it up with that notch, and then sometimes you got to twist it just a little bit to make it all fit. There we go. See, it matched up perfectly on that notch. Got to trust it, Judy, right? Okay, so I'm going to push this down. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to put another layer on here. Kind of, it'll detail those blooms a little bit more. I love this color. It's so pretty. Okay, there we go with that one. And then more detail with this one. There we go. Let me get that right like that. I love doing this. I used to stencil my walls. I think I told you guys about that. Our house, our first home in Texas after we got married, I stenciled on the walls. And then when we moved to Lincoln, our first home already had a lot of stenciling on the walls, which was fun because I really liked it. So it must have been an 90s thing, maybe, you know. Okay, there we go. There's the more detail. How pretty is that, you guys? Can you see that? Let me zoom in for you here a little bit. Ah, so pretty. So pretty. I'll hold it up when I'm done. Okay, then the last thing we're going to do with the blooms is we're going to put some Night of Navy centers in each one. So tonight is Mexican night. Every Tuesday night, Jim and I, when we can, meet some friends at a local Mexican restaurant. It's actually just a few blocks. It's within walking distance, really, of our house. And it's really good. It's just a mom and pop kind of Mexican place. And so tonight, I think I'm going to get enchiladas, something soft but delicious, right? Sometimes I really love their fajitas. Sometimes I get their awesome, I might put another one right there. There we go. So there's our hydrangea. And then I got to do the leaves. So for the leaves, I am using Garden Green. So I'm going to start with number 4. And so even the leaves should line up when I put that on that arrow right there. grab my green brush here, and I'm going to ink up the base. See, once you get the hang of it, these masks really don't take very long. And I would say making sure it's secure and that notch, you make a notch there so everything lines up really is key to the whole process. So there's the first layer for the leaves, and here is our second layer. So for the craft along that I talked about at the beginning of the video, it goes live at 6 tonight. You will either get notified that it's on my Facebook page, or if you're on my email list, you're going to get another email tonight. We all decided to launch at exactly the same time to kind of be fair to everybody. And it's going to be awesome. The 5 of us each had to create a card and a 3D item, and we split it between the Friends of the Ocean and the, so pretty. How pretty is that? It's beautiful. Okay, so this is going to get popped up right here on top of this card, right like that, okay? And I'm going to use dimensionals, but I want the dimensionals only to be on the band here, the hinge, okay? So I'm going to grab my dimensionals, and this is a really good time to use those edges here. And I'm just going to kind of focus here on the center, make sure it doesn't go off that edge. And maybe another one right there. That's probably enough. So if you're making 100 cards, you may not want to use the masks. You might want to use blends. But if you're making a card for a special person, these masks are so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there like that. Now it's attached to my hinge, and then it'll open and open like that. Cute, huh? Okay, so the last thing is that I have this piece, half-inch piece. Let me pull in my move my masks off to the side here. We're going to use those again here in a bit. My grid paper back on here. And I'm going to grab my Melon Mambo, and I have a half-inch strip. It's about a 1/2 inch by 4, but we're going to cut it. We're going to cut it down to fit our card here. It says you make a difference. I love that saying. Sure, we all have people in our lives we could say that to, right? There we go. Perfect. Whew. So, and this is something interesting too. The second time this has happened to me since being here in Midland is that, so this is going to go right here on the front, so pretty. But what I've done is I've taken that organza silver trimmed ribbon and cut it lengthwise, because using the whole length was just overwhelming the card. So I'm just going to use half of it. I kind of like that just has one edge of silver showing there. And I'm going to do a faux bow. I'm going to grab my tearing tape here. Let's see where I've laid it. Tearing tape, tearing tape. Here it is. The first time I went to a different dentist here in Midland, and I hated them, but they had some, here we go. So I'm going to put that behind my And let me see, I think it kind of goes diagonally that way. I'm going to put some tear tape on the back side here to hold it to my sentiment. The first time I went to the dentist, they had some political news stuff on in the lobby. And I was like, man, I don't want to come to the dentist and get controversial news on the TV, right? I'm like, why not some Food Network or something like that, right? Well, today, right when the Prime Minister of Canada was speaking on the news, it showed up in the lobby, which just, unsettles me. I want everyone to be happy. So, so anyway, by the time I got back to the doctor's seat, to the dentist seat, I was already stressed. But then that newscast stressed me out more. Okay, there we go. So there's isn't that so pretty? I love that. And I like that I used just half of it because it was too much. I tried it both ways, so it was just too much. Okay, so there we go. There's that. And then all I need to do to finish off this card is to grab those Starburst dots. Here they are. And I'm going to scatter some of these around my card. I used yellow, so I'm going to put a yellow one right up here. It's going to bring in some yellow and two more down here in the bottom right corner. Oh, how are you, Bill? I'm so glad you're here. I was worried about you. I hadn't seen you in a few Facebook Lives. I was just thinking about you today. Yay, I'm glad you're getting the help you need. Oh, yay! I'm glad you got the kit, and I hope it brings you some joy, Bill, while you're in your cancer treatments and something to distract your mind, right? I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you got that, and I will continue to pray for your recovery. So here we go. That's the first fun fold card for the day. I hope you guys love that. Okay, so let's go to the second one. And then I'll pull all the cards out again when we're done. Okay, I love this card. I hope you guys love it too. And if you don't, you're just gonna say you loved it. Okay. So look at this card. So at first it looks just like this, right? I'm gonna pull this out a little bit here. Give me a little more zoom. Okay, there we go. And then it opens like that. How cool is that? And so will sit right on a desk like that. And it says, thankful for you, friend. And it's so easy to make. You guys are not going to even believe how easy this is to make. Okay, so let's do it. I started with a card base of Garden Green, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's scored at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8. Okay, and I'm going to fold it in half just like this, and then the front panel I'm going to fold back. This is kind of how we do like a Z fold card, right? But we should call this a W fold card, maybe. And then we're going to fold the other side back on itself, right like that. Okay, so this is going to be that side accordion panel. So here we are. It's an M, it's a W. Depends on how you look at it, right? So we have these long DSP panels, and these are the two I chose. So I chose the small little Daffodil Delight print, and then this Garden Green kind of checkered print. You need 2 of the same for the inside and 2 of the same for the outside. These are cut 2 inches by 5 3/8 inches, okay? And I am going to glue use some liquid glue if it's going to cooperate with me. There we go. All right, so this one's going to go right here on the front of this. I'm just going to wiggle it around with my liquid glue until I get it on there straight. There we go. And then I also want it on the outside panel here, so I'm going to do the same thing. All right. Right there. Do you guys love this paper? I especially love these yellows and greens. My childhood bedroom was yellow and green, mostly this green, this garden green. I had green curtains that had white pom-poms on the edges. I was so cool, right? Very 70s. There we go. That one's going to go in the middle right there. And then our other green panel is going to go on the other side of the middle. Okay. So this is actually our card base right there. Okay. Now, I have a panel here that is 6 inches by 4 inches, and I scored it down the middle at 3 inches. So now I have this panel that is 3 inches by 4 inches, okay? This is going to get attached right like this, kind of sandwiching that accordion fold in the center of it, and that's what's gonna allow this to open up that way, okay? So we just need to decorate this right now. So I have 2 panels that are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, okay, that are going to go right here. I take that back. These are 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. There's a very thin line around there, okay? And then I have another piece of that green DSP that is cut 2 inches by 2 7/8 inches. This panel is going to go right through the middle right here of this white panel. So I'm going to add some glue to the back. There we go. Michelle, do you like Mexican food? I was telling them I'm eating Mexican food tonight. But Michelle is my friend who's a very picky eater. So she's usually a chicken finger french fry kind of girl. So I love Mexican food. I also love chicken fingers and french fries. So there you go. Doesn't matter what you feed me. I'll be happy. There's very few things I will not eat. Here we go. I'm going to shorten that. I've got this white 1/4 inch ribbon that's part of the mixed media suite, and I just wrapped it around and tied it in a bow there at the side. There we go. All right, and now this is going to get glued flat right onto this front, and you would want to have the score line of this panel on the right side. Okay, score line on the right. So we're just going to glue this now right flat to that green folded panel with the score line to the right side, right like that. I'm going to use liquid glue because it's a tight fit. Just shove it around here a little bit more. There we go. Wiggle it around. There we go. Okay, so there's the front, and now on the back side here is this other white panel, and I've got a strip of that green that we're going to put right across the bottom here. I might have lost Michelle, huh? It is dinner time for a lot of people on the East Coast, I guess. There we go, right like that. And then in the center of this, in that garden green ink, I am going to stamp "Thankful for You, Friend." So Chelsea, are you supposed to get more snow? I heard someone say something about snow in the Midwest. There we go. Thankful for you, friend. Right there in the center of that. And what else do I have left? Just my flower, I think. There we go. So this is going to get adhered right on the back side with the fold on the left. Okay? So it looks like it's the front, but it's really the back. Or the right side, I should say. Okay. So, all right, like that. Okay, so now we need to adhere this to this zigzag. So I'm going to open this up like a book with this seam on the right, and I'm going to sandwich that whole accordion fold to the inside. Now, here's the trick. You want the width of this to be 4 1/4. So here's my 4 1/4 line here. Let me move this down a little bit for you here. Maybe pull this out. There we go. Here's my 4 1/4 inch line right here. So maybe I'll even take my ruler, put it on that 4 1/4 inch line of my grid paper, and draw a good dark line right there. Okay, that's how wide I want this card to be. So I want my accordion fold over here on this edge of the line straight, and then I want it glued so that it is 4 1/4 inch wide, or else it's not going to fit in my envelope, right? So there's the 4 1/4 inch line. So I'm going to open this up right like that. I'm going to have that score line right on my 4 1/4. I'm going to have this side straight. It looks good to me, and I'm going to add glue right on that edge right there and fold this over. Boop, right like that. Okay, and then the other side should be right in the right place, and so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Glue right on that edge right there. You could also use seal if you wanted to. That would work fine. There we go. Press that in, right? And there we go. We have that fold that we need. This is going to sit up beautifully on someone's desk, right? Okay, so now all I need to do is do my flower on the front, okay? And I just noticed that I should have a piece of garden green. Let me pull one out of my stash here. Maybe I'll pull it out of my stash behind me. There we go. So I put all my scraps in a plastic sleeve like this. And so when I just need a little piece, I can just pull a piece out, and I don't have to cut a whole sheet of paper every time, right? I'm going to go to my dies, and I want this green leaf right here. So I'm going to go over here off camera to my die cutting machine, and die cut out one of those leaves in garden green. And this is going to go right here at the bottom. It's going to just kind of peek right there from underneath the flower that's going to go there. So I'm going to add some liquid glue here. Boop, boop, boop. Tomorrow we'll have an awesome 3D project for you. Perfect for giving office mates especially. I think you're going to love it. So be sure to come here. It will be around noon tomorrow that I will be here. But again, just watch on Facebook and I will let you know what time it comes on. Okay, I'm going to grab a scrap of white here, and I'm going to stamp my They said dogwood, but then last night my friends were like, I don't know if that's a dogwood or not. It's definitely not a pansy. Pansies have square, and they said dogwoods have only 4 petals. And oh, look what I just did. I think I can flip it over. Beware of the flying black memento ink. So I don't know if we ever figured out what kind of flower it is. Maybe I'll do it up here since I know I've got black on the back. Okay, no, down here. It doesn't matter. It's not going to show anyway. There we go. Okay. Put this die back before I lose that. I'm going back to my mass, and I'm going back to my bottom grid paper here where I had that centered right here. I'll just do it like this. See? You just don't really want that to move around a whole lot. Okay, is everybody still there? Are you cooking dinner? Are you what? Got awfully quiet out there on me. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with this right here, and my notch is way down here now because of how I stamped that flower, right? So I'm going to put a mark down here, and I'm going to grab my Post-it note tape to hold that in place. Cherry blossoms. Is that what you think, Sharon, or do you know for sure? Have you heard that through the grapevine? Okay, so here we go. Well, my cherry blossoms are going to be yellow. So they're not going to really look like cherry blossoms. But that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Daffodil Delight ink. Ink it up. Whoop. There we go. Awesome. Grab the next layer. We're just going to layer it all up. Yep, my notch is right there. Okay. More daffodil. There we go. So pretty. My third layer is going to give even more detail to this. There we go. So pretty. Now my leaves are going to be in garden green, just like the last set of leaves here. Let's grab this Post-it note tape. I'm going to grab my green brush and my garden green. Yeah. I don't know. They are very pretty. That's all that matters to me. I don't really care what kind of flowers they are. They're just beautiful flowers. Okay, so the garden green's going to come on. Be a little bit heavier here. There we go. So pretty. And then the detail of the leaves. Are right there. So Sharon, am I going to see you at On Stage next week in Raleigh? If you see me, come give me a hug. I definitely will be taking the picture with Rhonda's group while we're there. So maybe we'll see each other there. I think you'll know what I look like more than I know what you look like. Okay, there we go. So pretty, right? And so now I'm just going to grab this die cut this out, pop it up on the front of my card, and this card will be good to go. Okay. So we don't have any chance of snow here, but we have had the worst dust storm all day long. You guys, the sky looks brown. It's super windy. It's just been a crazy day of wind here. Okay, there we go. So pretty, right? This is going to get popped up right here on this front panel. Grab some dimensionals. Yay! Come find me, Sharon. And we can get our picture taken together, just the two of us. I love the friendships that Stampin' Up! Has brought into my life. My friend Sue Thomas, who's here a lot, we've never met in person. She lives in Ohio, but we have talked and communicated for 4 years. And she reached out to me and wants to come to Midland with her friend Lillian, and was hoping I would have a class when she's here. So the time she was going to come, unfortunately, interfered with Onstage here in March, but now we're thinking maybe September. So those are the kinds of things, the kinds of friendships that this business has brought into my life. Okay, there we go. I'm going to add a little Wink of Stella to the middle of these flowers just because I want to, right? Who doesn't love a little Wink of Stella? There we go. Give a little bling, and then I'm going to grab those Daffodil Delight sequins again. Put one there, one here. My friend Michelle is going to be there, and she'll be in the picture, Sharon. Quite a few of my friends are in Rhonda's trainee group, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so here's card number 2 for today. I actually got that in less than an hour. Fun folds take a little extra time. Okay, so I'm going to bring in all the cards that I've made. And this was second fun fold today. This was the first fun fold. So how awesome of an online class to go is this week's class. Beautiful. This was a card from yesterday. Stinking gorgeous. Here, let me move my camera down. And this one is the other card that we made yesterday. Hi, Mary Ann. I can't wait to see you too next week. We're going to have so much fun. I met Mary Ann at an event of Rhonda's, and I can't wait to see her as well. Look how pretty these are. So 1, 2 cards, 2 fun folds, and then tomorrow we'll do our 3D project, which I love as well. So this suite is pretty amazing, you guys. You're going to love it. So if you would like to get a kit to make these 4 cards and our 3D project tomorrow, you just have to place an order of $45 or more in my online store, which I always give the link to in the description. If you would like a set of those Starburst embellishments added on your behalf, any order of $60 or more will do that for you as well. Michelle, I asked about, hi, Melissa. Yes, it is very dusty. It is, and so windy today. It's like brown. You look out into the sky and it looks brown. Welcome to Midland, right? Michelle, I asked if you like Mexican food. I can't remember if you do or not. I know you're kind of a picky eater. But anyway, you can respond whenever for that. So I'm going to bring my camera back to my face. See my swollen jaw here. And I love you guys. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me here. Pop back in at 6 o'clock to grab the link for my March 2025 spring break craft along. It's going to be amazing. And if you're on my email list, you will get that sent directly to you in your email. If you're not on my email list, I will put the link to that in the description as well. So I will eat Mexican always. Oh, yay! Good job. I like you would. That's all I eat here in Midland: Mexican and hamburgers. That seems to be my diet these days. So, which might explain why I can't lose weight, but who knows? I'm having fun and eating well. So, God bless you guys. I will see you back here tomorrow at noon for the 3D project, and I love you. Have a great night.